Welcome in to a live edition of the Cavalier Connection here tonight, pregame as we get ready for SMU coming to town. As I watched that video, Jay, intro, it was a video of much more pleasant times.
Yeah, it's time for an update, I guess. With all that Coach Bennett love there, we might want to just keep it there though to keep it as a positive. But big game tonight, SMU second time through. So
the one thing about college basketball and college sports, as quickly as we're going, making it all look professional, it doesn't matter if you're. Well, it matters, but you can't tank a season to get a number one draft pick. So, you might have an NFL team that you're like, for example, the Giants, like, why did you win that flipping game right there at the end of the year next to last game? It don't matter here. We just need to win. Sometimes your favorite team in the NFL setting, you're like, man, we need to lose this game. It's not like that in college. I want to win every one of them. Even when it's down, it ain't gonna do us no good by losing.
No, the only thing that you do think about this year maybe is, if Ron starts to, if does Ron win enough games to where the people will say, okay, I see you shaking your head, but let's say Ron goes.
I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna
say. Yeah, you don't want Ron to go win. Well, I'm not gonna say you don't, but the thought of the counterpoint to that would be, let's say Ron goes off and wins 7 out of the next 8. And the vibes are good, and people, well, maybe Ron is the guy. I think both of our opinions is that he's not going to be the guy. I think you don't want any controversy. You don't want to split the fan base kind of up with the let him have another year, or take the interim tag off. Let's see what he can do. I'd rather rip it off, like a Band-Aid, just rip it right off and, start fresh with somebody else and just a different, look, Tony's not walking back through the door. So let's start over.
And you can't go, we'll give him another year. You just can't do that. You either gotta go in for
right.
a 5-year contract, or you just got to rip it off. I do have a couple things I wanted to mention on that. Before we get to that, though, I did want to talk about our friends over there at Minster's. Basketball this season has been a struggle, and usually I can find a highlight for our Minster's moment from basketball, but from the men's team, but they didn't come through for us. But I'll tell you who did last week, the ladies team. And the ladies team almost pulled off on Duke on Saturday or Sunday.
Yep.
Which day?
Sunday, I think.
But last Wednesday, a nice win against Clemson, and one of a friend of the show, Kamora Johnson. I mean, she went nuts in that game, and she's this week's Minster's moment. Jay, if you can cue that thing up.
Turnover number 10 for Clemson.
She's got such range. She's like the Steph Curry of women's basketball.
Johnson, the outside three.
I mean, just down.
Those are her first points of the second half.
And I believe in this game she had 28.
Nobody picks up Johnson outside. I mean, you leave me there, I'll take it.
Range.
Johnson controls that front. Draws a double team.
Look at that
Lattimore
pass.
cutting down the lane, and she lays it up.
She's averaging.
And I believe got fouled by Poole.
Was it? Is
they
it 15, 5, and 5? Or one of the few in America that's averaging over.
No help side there. Johnson will back it back out.
I mean, you look at these highlights, Jeff, and I know we said Mr. Moment.
Right here, this is Mr. Moment right here.
Takes the three, buries the three.
That's deep.
Okay. But how about the play?
I mean, every one of these is
Kamora
3
Johnson,
feet behind
the outside three.
The line.
Johnson with 4:25.
But if you look at the highlights, I mean, every single one of those is Kamora Johnson is involved, whether she's shooting it or passing it. And like you say, friend of the show, we interviewed her and her mom for Mother's Day last year. And if you missed that episode, some good, funny interactions between her and her mom. And that was a lot of fun to talk to Kimura.
Yeah, I was gonna say I took that the highlight reel from UVA's website. They have just the highlight reel, 3 minutes and 3 seconds, and about 2 minutes and 50 of those was Kimura. She had 28 points and 6 assists, and every three she hit, pretty much was a deep three in that game. It was Steph Curry, like you said. But congratulations, Kimura Johnson, our Menser's moment this week. Make sure to go visit Menser's at the corner or at the Stonefield Shopping Center. Orange tag sales, always a great deal at Menser's. Get your hats.
This sweatshirt right here with the nice,
and that is the
logo.
classic.
It's the classic look. And then, of course, we always loved 1186, getting ready to get into baseball season. Don't get any better than that. So, yeah, I mean, usually if you see me out and about, more than likely I've got something Menser's on. And I posted today on Facebook, probably my favorite T-shirt of all time is available now, and it's just in time for the February 8th Tony Bennett Day, which we haven't talked about that, but that's coming down the pipe soon. You know,
I think I'm going to slide into Menser's maybe this weekend and get me. Maybe I'll get you one too, Jay. One of those 5 pillar shirts.
Yeah, the 5 pillar shirt is my favorite shirt that I've seen yet. I mean, because Tony Bennett is like he's the god of Virginia sports. I mean, he's the man that brought a national championship. And look, that T-shirt is awesome. I don't have a picture queued up, and we're giving Menser's free airtime right now, but I love that shirt. I'm not gonna lie. It's on our Facebook page. If you want to check out pictures, you can see it there and order it from Mensers.com.
Before we get into the night's game, Jay, I did want to circle back to Ron Sanchez. I think, is there a search underway already? Are they already sniffing around? Did you read the article from Augusta Free Press? I know
I did read the article, and I watched his YouTube video, which is pretty much just the article.
Right.
And I mean, look, a lot of times he's, Chris Graham, shout out to him and give him credit. I don't know who his sources are, but he gave 3 names. We've talked about 2 of the 3 on this show already. His number 1, and apparently Virginia's first choice, is Shaka Smart. It's my first choice. We talked about that on the last show, I think.
That's a home run.
Yeah, that's a home run. Dave Odom, or Ryan Odom, Dave Odom's son. To me, he's a ground rule double, And then the guy from Furman, he'd be a base hit, young guy, or somewhat, young enough you don't have to worry about him aging out anytime soon. But when you're in this NIL age, and we're talking to Lowe Davis tomorrow night, when you're in this age, until the NCAA does something to kind of rein in everything, I don't know that any coach can really be at one place too long before they just get worn down by this system. You certainly can't do it the Virginia way, though, of the past. Like, I hear Ron, this is one of the things that bothers me. I hear Ron talking about inexperience, but yet you got Tane Murray on the floor, who's been in the program forever. IMAC's been in the program. It's his 3rd year. You've got some experience out there. And even if you don't, if your system requires that you have that much experience to do well, then you got to change the system.
Yep. Guys aren't going to be there long enough to learn a system like that.
No.
And
so I full disclosure, I was at Wintergreen this past weekend for the whole weekend. I did not see 1 second of the Stanford game. I was following along on my phone the score. Looked like we were competitive in the first half again, and then in the second half they just kind of pulled away. IMAC came back with a strong game. You know, it was kind of what I expected. I picked Stanford to win by 17. Of course, they put up more points than I thought they would. What did I read that we went zone in this game, Joe?
We did.
How did it look? I
Yeah.
mean, was it a 2-3, 3-2, 1-2, 1-2-2, 1-3-1?
Little maybe a 2-3, but it was I mean, it didn't matter. Stanford, our defense, our effort level just didn't appear to be there at all. I guess Rhodey was sick.
I did read he had the flu. Was
Um,
throwing up at halftime.
Yeah, he had a terrible turnover to end the first half, and they picked it up. And you know what happens with 1 second to go? A heave and a bank shot goes in.
Oh my gosh!
McNeely was aggressive and going for his shot. You know, he had 3 the previous games, so he had to change up a little bit of what he had done. You just see frustration, major frustration on guys' faces. Kofi looks super annoyed on the floor. He looks ticked off, to be honest with you. I wish the ticked off led to something on the floor, but I just don't think he's being used properly. I think with his size and his ability to handle the ball and shoot the ball, he can do so many things, and I think they are constricting him to playing down on the inside. That's just not his game. You know,
do you think tonight with SMU, we played them the first time, we lost 63-51.
Yeah.
Back on December the 7th, it was our ACC opener.
Mm-hmm.
In that game, they were led in scoring by Kario Akendo.
Oh, you talking about
21 points.
21.
Yeah, on 4 of 6 from deep, 6 of 10 from the floor. They had another guy, Samet Yigitaglu, who was 7 of 8 from 16 the floor. Points. Yeah, 16 points. They out rebounded us by I think 11, which is no that's surprise. Nothing new, right? We get out rebounded every night.
Yigitalu, he's 7-1. So
okay.
And
no wonder he was 7 for 8. We have nothing for him.
Yeah, our bigs don't play to that size, other than Robinson, who will play 3 or 4 minutes, and that'll be it for him. Day Ames, this is one. Day Ames, he got his charity minutes in the first half. And in the second half, he came in and he got hot. I want to say he hit a 3 and a 2, and he was making plays on the floor, and they'd actually trimmed the deficit down to maybe 9. What do you think Coach Sanchez did at that point?
I'm assuming he got super jealous of Day and pulled him right out. He can't have success. What is this?
Yeah, you know, it don't matter which way it goes for him. If he makes a mistake, he's coming out right away. If all of a sudden some success starts coming, you had to pull him out as well. I didn't think it was the time to pull him at that point in the game. But
and Rhodey did not play after. I think I read it was maybe the 14-minute mark or somewhere around there. He didn't play anymore. He went out and
he didn't come back in the game. No, he didn't come. He didn't come into the game until like 14 minutes ago in the second half.
Rhodey?
So he didn't come. He didn't start the second half, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
And he entered the game about 6 minutes into the second half because they didn't know what the deal was. We didn't know he was sick, and so I was really thinking it was possible he was getting benched because that bad turnover, and then he just had he did, you know, it's just like whatever, and just didn't even get back. But then you found out he was sick, so it made a little more sense. But Sharma, so the team came out firing away against Stanford. McNeely hit some threes. Sharma hit 2
Sharma got
early.
A start. What'd you think? What did they talk about that at all?
What, on the broadcast?
Yeah, like what brought that on?
Listen, well, I mean, Sanchez has been toying with the lineup. It seems like every game he started over Tane. The broadcast was not your wasn't the best broadcast team for this. I'm just, to be honest, I'm not gonna get into details of why I feel that way. It just didn't feel like it was a, sometimes it's like me, if they sent me out to go do Appalachian State versus I don't know,
Coastal Carolina,
just name Tennessee Tech. It's just like you send out your crew, that's your lower level crew, and the knowledge level. I mean, the ladies who did the show, I mean, they were fine, and not the show, but the game, they were fine. But
was it two ladies?
Yeah, when it comes to stuff like that, they weren't talking about it at all. I thought Sharma, he came out.
That's unusual to have two female commentators for a college basketball game. You just don't see that on the men's side, to have two.
Yeah. Well, that's what we had. But Sharma came out. They came out hot, as they do. But then if you've noticed, Virginia has been outscored in the second half. I don't remember if I've seen it for this year, if it's for the year, but it's about over 100 points. Like, we can't play. We're nothing in the second half. It's like 332 to 223 or something, or somewhere around there, 99, 110, 101. I don't remember the exact number, but we can't close a game out. Blake Buchanan was Blake Buchanan, soft as ever.
How many minutes? Let's see. Do you know how many minutes he got?
And I don't have that. I'll tell you in just a second. I don't have that one.
Yeah, so when we played SMU, I think this will be like, you can almost look at that SMU game the first time, probably throw most of it out, because Blake played 25 minutes in that one. He won't sniff the floor for near that. I can't imagine.
No.
Elijah was 0 for 6 from the floor in that one, only had 3 points on 3 free throws.
Yeah.
Really, the only guy that had a decent game was IMAC. He had 17.
Kofi
We're
had 8.
At home tonight, Jeff. Kofi had 8 in the first game. I expect he'll get quite a few minutes tonight if he can stay out of foul trouble. Tane had 26 minutes in the first round.
Only 2 points?
2 points. Yep. 1 for 2 from the floor. Only took 2 shots in 26 minutes.
I would not be surprised. Like, it's not going to shock me if Virginia were to come out and win this game at home.
Right.
I really don't expect it, but it's not going to shock me. We'll see what this team.
What my pick's going to be, to be honest.
If this team comes out flat again tonight and really, just kind of gets it handed to them, I think we're in for a season where we might win 2 to 3 ACC games, and that's it. Like, they've quit. Yeah. That's going to tell me they've quit. When they're playing at home, in a game where we were competitive the first time at SMU. So we have them at home.
I think we had an 8-point lead with around 10 minutes to go in that one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so. But it was a close game throughout. And so we'll see what this team's about. I tend to think that Virginia has given up. I just feel that way watching them against Stanford. They came out with Tane Murray guarding Stojakovic, and he was real physical with him, held him to 4 points in the first half. The second half, there was no containing that guy. I don't remember how many. I think he might have scored 20 in the second half. I think he
finished with 23.
Yeah, so 19 in the second half. The team just looks like, there's no – you hit the double team. There's no rotations on defense, and guys are just getting wide open dunks. If I was looking for a Mentzer's moment and it was Stanford, I had Mentzer moment after Mentzer moment. I mean, just dunks, and with authority. And then with Virginia, there was really not much. I could have shown IMAC hit a 3. But, why am I going to show that in a loss, in an embarrassing loss, when I do have a victory from Kamora Johnson and the ladies team?
Right.
So,
well, in the ACC tonight, Jeff, there are a few other games going on right now.
Yep.
Virginia Tech looks like they're going to take a loss, more than likely, to NC State at the Castle.
North Carolina's going to –
Say again?
I say North Carolina's going to beat Cal.
Right, yep. UNC's up 26 on Cal with under a minute to play. Virginia Tech's down 7 with 3:18 to go at the final TV timeout for that one. And then earlier tonight, Wake Forest defeated Stanford 80-67. Wake Forest is 5-1 in the ACC this year. And we're just getting beat. Like Cal is a bad team, Jeff. They're 1-4 in the ACC, and they dominated us.
Yeah. No, I mean, you could take into account a little bit of traveling to the West Coast. And but we were out there in plenty of time. Went out there Sunday for when did we play Cal? Last Wednesday.
Yeah,
we're out there Sunday for a Wednesday game, and then if you chalk that up to still trying to adjust, and we played Saturday. We had 6 days to get your body ready for Stanford. We'll see. We're back home tonight. We play SMU. Winnable game in my opinion. If Virginia's competitive tonight, then they're still fighting for Coach Sanchez. If they're not, they might be quitting on the season. If you're a coach and looking for a head coaching job, the state of Virginia might have some opportunities here coming for you with Virginia and Virginia Tech. But
it could be that
if you read
Virginia job opens up the VCU job,
and they could. And if you look at all the commentary on X, and there's not a lot of positive out there. I think there's some upset players on the team. Just reading, through the rumor mills of some of the folks we really like to follow, and you see where the rumor mill said Kofi is the day at the end of after the season he'll be gone, and that his
I have not
insight.
seen these things. So where was that?
Our friend Tugard, and his insight and his people are saying that he's not happy with the way he's being used, and he believes he's an early entry NBA possibility with the right coaching. And
I agree.
He doesn't, and so he's one of them. Christian Bliss, that he just wants that medical red shirt because he doesn't.
Who?
Christian, yeah, I know you. I got you. But
he just shall not be named.
Yeah, well, I gotta name him, and that
Bigfoot, Jeff. Just say Bigfoot.
He doesn't want to use his year because he doesn't have a good feeling about Virginia. And back to Kofi, what would make Kofi stay? The only way he would stay is if the new coach coming in. If there was a hiring, it would have to be before the end of the season, or they laid a lot of money at his feet.
Well, with Chris Graham's report today, he said that the team, they want to move fast.
Right.
When this season ends, it's going to be pretty much if they've narrowed in on a guy, and these conversations happen back channel. Yeah. If let's say it is Shaka. Marquette gets beat in the second round of the NCAA tournament. Let's hope they get beat in the first round. Whatever. And we say we're just going to buy Shaka, because we could do that.
Right.
He could be in place in a week or 2 days, 3 days. I mean, he's got to give the obligatory because they'll ask him in the press conference. We hear you're linked to XYZ job.
Right.
And then he'll give the obligatory. I'm at Marquette. Let's finish it. This is too raw right now. Blah blah blah.
Give the Roy Williams answer after Kansas gets put out the tournament.
Yeah.
In the national title game.
Yeah.
I care about them guys in that locker room.
Right.
Till the next day when he cares about the UVA locker room.
And hey, he might bring some of that Marquette talent to Virginia with him.
I'm sure he would.
And look, we are hurting for talent. I don't know what we paid TJ Power, but I hope it wasn't like a 4-year commitment because that's like buying a lemon of a car. Like you buy this brand new car, they have lemon laws. You can't do that. Like you can't just sell a crappy car that breaks down when it's brand new.
Right.
There ought to be a lemon law for the transfer portal. Like you get a
Right.
guy and he just totally underperforms his his stuff. We can let you walk after a year, but hopefully he'll find it. Everybody talks about how he puts in the work, before and after the game. So,
yeah. Well, we're about game time, Jay.
yeah.
And
One of these nights, Jeff. I mean, it don't have to be tonight, but one of these nights we need to do a live watch party.
I agree.
Where we would just watch the game and have people comment and,
I agree. A watch party would be a good one.
Yeah.
Everybody can air their grievances right there with us.
Right. Live chat. That'd be something.
Yeah. If you guys have any comments, any questions for Lo Davis, shoot them to us on X. Shoot them to us. You could email us. Go to thecavalierconnection.com and go to contact us. Send us a question. Direct message us on X. You can message us on Facebook. Shoot a comment on YouTube. Lo Davis tomorrow evening will be interviewing, and that will air on Friday. Get to talk a little what college sports is now with the money, the whole money, and the pay for play, NIL, the whole thing. So,
Jeff, what's your final score prediction? Jack's not here tonight. I thought maybe we'd have Jack with us tonight. I was hoping, but
Jack's out at Lake Taylor and Churchland tonight.
Okay.
We
got to get his final score thoughts.
Let's see. Virginia is going to come out tonight and put up 62.
How many is SMU going to score?
I know. Man. All right, I just got to stop. I'm going SMU 60, 69, 62 SMU.
And I'll take SMU 66 to 53.
Ooh, boy.
66. What's the Vegas line? Do you know?
I'm not even sure. I don't even listen. We watch them all. We love the Cavaliers. I used to get so excited to know when I was coming home from work. Oh yeah, we got a Virginia basketball game tonight. Those days have ended this year. It's that they're not fun to watch at all. But I keep tuning in, and I'm hoping that there's going to be a change, and I'm going to enjoy watching.
Well, Jeff, if our scores are, if we really believe that, we should have driven somewhere. They have SMU anywhere from 4.5 all the way up to 6.5, depending on what book you use. And the money is 50-50 right now on where the money is coming in at. But the percentage of bets is actually higher on Virginia. 54% of bets placed are on Virginia to cover that anywhere from 4.5 to 6.5. I would much rather play SMU at -4.5 than 6.5. But
I wouldn't lay the bet either way.
I would.
I don't want to bet against my team, so I just leave it.
If they allowed you to bet on Virginia, in Virginia, I wish they would change that law, because I would lay heavy at times. Like Virginia plays Duke this year. Make the line whatever you want. I'm taking Duke and I'll lay whatever points you want to lay.
74 -74 Duke.
Well, Jack says UVA by 3. That does not qualify you, Jack, for any money, because that is not a score.
Oh, Jack's tuned in.
He's tuned in listening. But, Jack, we need an official score here.
Jack, is Churchland game over? Churchland Lake Taylor done? Well, it's game time here. Tune in on Friday. We'll have Lo Davis, so it'll be at noon. We'll air that one at noon. And we'll have some good news after tonight. Virginia will win by 3 or more. Jack has 68-65 the Hoos. Oh, Jack's home. I didn't even know he made it home. 68-65 Hoos is what Jack has. 69-62 SMU for me. Jay has 66-53 SMU. In fact, if we score 62, that's a pretty decent number for us.
Right.
If I'm correct. And 68 is a heck of a number. Maybe that's that Villanova performance. Hey, Tune in on Friday at noon. We got Lo Davis. Let's go watch the Who's and hope for Jay and myself to be wrong and El Jacko to be correct. Have a great evening, folks, and go Who's.
Go Who's.